everybody, if you can hear me from here. I wanted you to see my favorite new hoodie. I got it from Midas Touch, but I love it. I guess because I'm as old as Biden and Trump and the rest of them. But this just really cracked me up more than anything that I'd seen out there. Person, woman, man, camera, prison. I love it. I love it. And since I live in San Diego, I think I can wear it without getting shot. Shouldn't even say that. For entertainment only, YouTube. Should take that out of there. Anyway, I really like this shirt, and if anybody wants one, they have them on the Midas Touch website. They have a lot more of them too. I got my daughter one that said Rovember on it. But they have some really cute ones too, some other cute ones. My goodness, it looks like that camera's a little crooked. I hope it stays up there till I get through with this video. Hope it's balanced good enough. It needs to go back to the right just a little. I don't know. That still looks pretty crooked. We'll just have to see. Let me pull this up. I don't know. The reason I haven't worn t-shirts in 40 years because I don't like to display my arms even when I was in my 30s. But I got this on a beautiful vacation I went on once, and I've never wore it, and I was going to give it away, and I thought, no, you'll figure it out. So it's been hanging in my closet for about 10 years, believe it or not. And this is what I ended up with, was I found a blouse that kind of matches it, but I wish the sleeves were tighter on it. It would look better. I think I'm buying everything too big for me because I've lost weight and my brain, it hasn't sunk in my brain yet. But anyway, good evening, everybody. And if you've never watched this channel, my name is Lynn. It's my middle name. And the channel's called Lynn Tarot Readings, and I do political tarot, and I love doing it. And I also do private tarot. I love reading on the phone for people. So if you watch this and you're interested, or if you've had a reading before, most of mine are repeats. I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm busy most of the time just with repeats. But I love new people. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want that to sound like I'm not looking for new people. But email me at lynntarotreadings@gmail.com, lynntarotreadings@gmail.com, and that's readings with an S, because I had a couple people get a hold of me just the last couple of days and say they couldn't get through on that email. Well, I know that's the correct email, so I figured maybe they weren't putting the S at the end of readings. So it's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com, and add your telephone number, and I'll get right back with you, and we'll set up an appointment. Put your telephone number in there. I'll text you back. Or if there's no text on that number, I'll call you back and we'll set up an appointment. And what am I going to read on tonight? Well, this is a Monday night, the night before the race in Georgia. And I'm not even going to read on it. If it was 2 or 3 days away, I would. But since it's tomorrow, we'll just wait. I'm thinking that if Raphael Warnock don't win, there's not too much hope for America anyway. If there's still that many ignorant people out there, and I'm not being a smartass, I'm just saying there ain't no hope left for us. There's no, we're talking politics here, not football, but when you hear the admirers that talk about him, you'd swear that they're talking football. I mean, it's just totally effing crazy. But anyway, that's what's going on there. And then there was something else I wanted to talk about for just a minute before I start reading on the other political stuff. Well, I'm going to talk about North Carolina and that power station that got shot up. You know, to make all the power go out like that, you have to know where to shoot those too. So it wasn't just some random kids. Um, the other news story I heard today that just literally tore me up inside, and I should have wrote down the state. Seems like it was Alabama. Uh, when I sit down to do these readings, it's like all the facts leave my head. But that's what happens when I ask my guides to come in and help me. I don't mean all the facts, but I mean like the names, different names and stuff. But this young man, I think he was in his early 20s. He had a daughter. And he was working in a neighboring town. And he didn't have a car, but he needed the job really bad. So he had a friend taking him to work. And I guess Monday morning he had a ride to work, but the friend said he couldn't take him home for some reason. And so he couldn't, nobody picked him up hitchhiking, being black in the South. So he just kind of hung out around town. He went in the police department and asked them if there was anything he could do. I guess he called home a couple of times, and his mom was trying to find a ride. And she couldn't find one until the next day. But anyway, he lived through the night because the next morning he was at the dollar store. It was the last place they seen him, probably in there buying him something for breakfast. And meanwhile, he had told his mom that he had been to the police station the night before. He told him he was worried the night before that he had some men following him around in a white truck that were threatening him. And then the next morning he went back to the police department and asked if he could just stay there till his mom was sending somebody to pick him up from a town. It was going to take about an hour and a half, and they told him no, he couldn't stay there. And they sent him out the front door, and he told them he was worried about these guys that had been, harassing him, threatening him, and they made him go anyway. And I guess they found him yesterday. Today is Monday. Whatever, they found him yesterday or a couple of days ago. Anyway, maybe Sunday or Monday they found him, but they found him dead. And they did find a video of him running through a field with all bruised up with his top off. It was one of those videos they have out for the deers. So it looked like somebody probably picked him up and took him out in the country and whatever. No telling. God help him. God bless him. Say a prayer for him and his family, but I'm so tired of stuff like this happening. I'm just tired of it. I know we're all tired of it. But, and most of this monster behavior is coming right out of the right-wing media. And it just, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, that they actually are comparing apples to watermelons. They'll sit down and talk about like it's an even talk, and I just, and it's all media. MSNBC's best, but they're still bringing stuff up that shouldn't even be brought up. It shouldn't even be talked about because it's not worthy news to even bring up on a news show because it's so far-fetched and absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, it just tears me up, this kind of stuff. And then that North Carolina power outage, and I'm going to draw on that first and see if that had anything to do with that drag queen story. I mean, was that what started it? Or, people could end up freezing to death or dying from, I'm on oxygen at night, or dying from lack of oxygen or something. I don't have to have it right now. I'm using it as a healing tool. But, in fact, I just got back from a 30-minute walk, and I was walking up and down ramps the whole time. Thank God, bless God, helping me. And all you for all your healing prayers. I know that's what helped me so much. And I don't want to ever forget the energy that all you wonderful people give me that watch this channel. And I love your comments. And if you want me to read on anything, please just, yeah, if it's something you want me to read on, put it all in capitals. Somebody told me that meant that you were yelling, but to me that doesn't mean yelling. I'm from the old school. That just means, hey, old lady, pay attention. That's what it means to me. I'm asking you a question. I was something out here I want you to read on. So let's see. Did blowing up this power station, it wasn't a transformer. It was a lot more than that. I think it cut off the power to was it 40,000? I wrote it down. Yeah, 40,000 people are without power because of this. And it looks like it might have just been a straight old hate crime. So let's just ask, was this a hate crime? So I think that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start with this one. And I got a lot of openings for personal readings if somebody would like to have one. And I just got caught up yesterday. So we'll start with this. This is in North Carolina. So I'm going to ask my guides and helpers to come in and help me. I know they started coming in when I was setting everything up, because what happens, I swear the temperature gets 10 degrees hotter in here. I can feel the heat coming into the room when they come in. And it's really funny because I've heard a lot of other psychics talk about feeling coldness. But even when I gave massages, I've already been reading cards for years, but the few times that I had somebody at my house that I was literally afraid of, and I prayed angels, and my carpet got so hot. Had a carpet in my bedroom where I was given I had carpets all over, but anyway, there was carpet on the floor. And it was almost like it had a heated floor under it. My carpet would get so, one time I asked a bunch of angels to come in and protect me because I was worried because the guy on the table was talking weird, and I thought maybe he was on drugs. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a friend in the other room too. So I didn't usually do that. That didn't happen but a couple of times all the years I gave massage in my home. But 2 people showed up at once, and the guy asked if he could wait in the other room. So I figured he was looking for drugs, but I didn't have any drugs, not even in my bathroom. So that was a waste of time. But that's how I felt. I felt threatened, but I went ahead and did the massage. And he started asking me some questions that didn't need to be asked. And I prayed angels into the bedroom to surround me. I did that maybe 3 or 4 times in the 20 years that I gave massages, 30 years I gave massages at that residence at my old home. And then they left, and everything was fine. And about an hour later, I went to step in that room, and I had my shoes off, and it was like stepping on a heated rug. That's how hot the rug was in there. And so then I forgot to thank them and tell them they could go, and I apologize for not thanking them sooner. I know there's no timeline on the other side, but thanked them for their help, thanked them for their protection, and told them that they could leave. And then 10, 15 minutes later, the rug felt like a regular rug again. But it's amazing for me, when I'm working with spirit, I've had different people ask me different questions about spirit. He comes in. So every time before I do a reading, I usually just pull my air conditioner down about 5 degrees. But just when I start setting up, it starts getting hotter in here. And I swear it's like it's unreal how much warmer it gets in my home when I start to do this. So let's ask about this power station in North Carolina. Was this a hate crime? Was it really because of a drag queen show? I never realized how many idiots there was in the United States until they started pushing all this squirrel propaganda towards all these idiots to get them to pay attention to that instead of that they're robbing them blind. Instead of focusing on all the money the corporations are getting and how much that's costing people and how they're not getting any raises and they don't have any medical insurance and can't afford to buy gas. Well, they do talk about that because they can blame that on Biden. But instead of talking about everything that might help, all they do is just talk about the green M&Ms, high heels, and Dr. Seuss's books that his family took down because they felt like they were racist. That was, nobody asked them to do that. No Democrats. The family decided to do that. And if you look back over them, they were kind of racist. But anyway, it's always, they got a new monkey every week. They're chasing rainbows. They're not really chasing. Well, they can use a rainbow to blame it bad about somebody, they will. They're crazy. They're all batshit crazy, trying to come up with Disney making our kids gay. Like I said, they must be all so thin-skinned or so. Either they're all pedophiles because that's all they can talk about is children's genitals, and it just makes you wonder where this mentality comes in. People ought to know anytime somebody comes in talking about others and wants to divide people that they're up to no good. You can look back 10,000 years or maybe 20,000 if we had records and history and see that's what goes on when villains come in to take power. They want you to blame everything on your neighbors, divide you against each other, and then they can break you down and they got total control. It's the oldest trick in the book. And you could see that the day Trump came down that frickin' elevator and started talking about Hispanics like he did. I can still remember thinking nobody's going to be stupid enough to fall for that. Well, I was the stupid one, I guess. But anyway, let's see. North Carolina, 40,000 people without power. Was it because, did this have anything to do with the drag show? Or was it just an accident that they decided to shoot that up where they were? They thought it was because they had people protested it out in the street dancing to YMCA. That's why it's so funny. These people are so ignorant to what's really going on. Nobody even knows that's a gay song, including Trump. They're all crazy. They're all crazy. And then I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm not ever going to, hopefully, don't have to ever mention his name again. The latest law I heard out of Herschel Walker, and I guess this wasn't from the last few days, maybe the last few weeks, he said that the Trump children, Ivanka and Donald Trump Jr., used to come and spend a week with him every summer, and he took care of them, or maybe it was 2 weeks, he said, that he knew them well, and he was the one that taught them their values. Start with, I don't think they have any values, but that's the funniest thing. But then this man is just, I think Trump's found somebody that can outlie him. Says he used to play basketball with Barack Obama. And he had never met Barack Obama. So anyway, the man is a total menace, and that's it. So let's see, we're going back to North Carolina here. I'm shuffling the cards here, trying. Come on, guys, help me. Let's see what's going on with North Carolina in this power outage. Oh, gee, that didn't surprise anybody. The signifier is the devil. And we got the Two of Swords over the top. They might have done it. That looks like, yeah, that they maybe tried to do it to stop this. Maybe that's what they used for an excuse to do it. Who knows? They were backed by some money. The foundation is money. And they didn't, even the bullets, or I guess you can find out what needs to be shot and what needs to be shot up to to ruin those places. I guess you can find that all online now. That's the newest thing, is how to, is domestic terrorism. Money changed hands. If they really went into this and investigated them, they'd find out that maybe the messages or the ideal or maybe even the orders came from a higher up the line than just the people that were shooting that up. We'll probably never know for sure unless the FBI catches them or something and they all start spilling their guts, because we've got delusion at the top, so we're never going to find out from the police department or anything what was going on there. Just hearsay. But it looks like that comes to an end and a new beginning. So, the Wheel of Fortune. God, I hope this is not saying it's just going to be a way of life in the United States. That it looks like the ending of something, the beginning of something else. Maybe something's going to finally wake people up that they need to start paying attention to politics if they ever want to live in a better world. I really feel like all these people that are following Trump, all these Proud Boys and the other ones, the Oath Keepers and all that kind of stuff, it's because they still feel like they're getting their messages from on high. They feel like from the shit that Tucker Carlson and all those people on Fox News are spraying out every night, they feel like that they're entitled to go do this. And they do have money channeled down to them to go do it. Shows the money card. But you know, they might just get caught. I like this, because it looks like maybe they're looking for them, and they're closer to them than they realize. And looks like judgment's coming up on them really quick. Their hopes and fears, they're thinking maybe they left a trail. Something about them getting out of there, something about somebody seeing them, something about being in a hurry. The police are probably in on it with them, but if they're not, maybe one of them got stopped or pulled over or something to do with going to or going from the event. It looks like it might come forward. Let's hope it does. And there's way too many people talking about this. Look at this. There's way too many people already know what happened and who was there and what was going on. So is this going to leak out? Looks like it's going to leak out and they're going to catch him. It's going to be an investigation. Stuff's going to leak out to have a deep investigation. And it's going to change their world. So, yeah, it was no accident. It was planned. They almost changed their mind because of that other guy just getting arrested and given 20 years. But they're not even smart enough to know that, domestic terrorism could come back and bite them on the ass. They were funded for it. Told where to find out how to do this. Thought they were really freaking geniuses when they started researching it online. But this is not going to help them. This is going to reverse. There's too many people that know about this. It's coming out where the money came down from, where the stuff came down from. Judgment is up on them. It's coming quicker than they think. Way too many people know about it. It looks like some women are celebrating because there's a deeper dive going here. And for most of them, it's kind of the ending of a new career. Now that sounds great. Sounds like they're going to catch them and maybe put their ass in jail. Uh, let's ask. Let's use a different deck of cards. I don't have to stick these all back in here. Did anybody notice my other shirt? Cayman Islands. It's from a long time ago. I might have mentioned it already. I never wear t-shirts, but I figured out how to cover my arms up, so I got one. I love this shirt. I almost threw it away 20 times and tried to give it away, and nobody wanted it, but I didn't. I loved it so much I didn't want to just throw it in the trash, so I kept it. And now I'm glad I did. It's the first time I've ever wore it. So what we were going to ask, is anybody going to go to jail for this? It looked like it was going to be life-changing for the people that did this, but not in a good way. New life. The end of an old life, the beginning of a new life. The guys behind this, are they going to jail? I'm just going to cut them and see what comes up. Well, we got the moon. Looks like maybe somebody's telling on them. Maybe one of their wives. Somebody in law enforcement knows. The people that planned it. So are they going to jail? That doesn't mean anything. You can't trust law enforcement. Somebody's got some evidence on it. I think one of their wives is going to turn them in. And I think she's got evidence. I think that's how they're going to find out who does this. I think somebody maybe that's connected or that wishes she wasn't connected or just got divorced or something like this has heard this plan and she turns it over to somebody. I think that's how they're going to get caught. I think they're going to get squealed on by somebody from their immediate families. That's just tired of them being such assholes. The hardest thing about that is most of those people back there are living so poor. If this person's working at all, they can't afford to miss the paycheck, so they'll put up with almost anything, even if they don't agree and they're a woman. I know my first marriage, I was in it for 8 years, and I couldn't imagine how I was going to take care of my family. So I felt like I had no choice but to stay in it. And it wasn't horrible. It was a little abusive at times, but it wasn't horrible. But we were both young. I probably wasn't that easy to live with either. But a lot of it comes down to resources. Anyway, let's see what else is coming up. Okay. Somebody wanted me to ask Mark Meadows, will he go down? Well, if he does go down, it'll probably be in January. I don't think anybody's going down before January, so let's ask. Let's ask if he'll go down in January. Will Mark Meadows go down in January? Will Mark Meadows go down in January? I think I'm just going to draw 4 across the top since that's a pretty yes or no question. See what comes out here. Will Mark Meadows go down in January? he thought his ass was really covered for this, that he didn't ever have to worry about going down. Oh, if he thought they were going to get away with pulling this still in the election, or if he just thought Trump was so strong and so powerful that he was never going to let go and always going to be there to protect him, or what. But this was the past. Thought he knew enough of the right people that he didn't have to worry about it. In the present, I don't know if he's been in to testify yet, or they're just trying to get him to, but there's some kind of fight going on about it. Some kind of fight going on about it. The challenge, I think he's going to have to make a deal unless he wants to go straight to prison when all this stuff comes out, and he knows it. I think that's his challenge. It's a deal. They're making him an offer at the current time, or he's making them an offer. Whatever this offer is, it's being refused. It looks like one to him. And I asked if he was going to end up in jail, and it looks like, yeah, that could be his future unless he starts paying attention. So he thought he was protected because he had enough bigwigs around him, and he was such a bigwig. Now he's fighting for his life. The challenge is the plan. How is he going to give evidence? Get out? He's got to get a plan. He's got to get something going. And how much is he going to talk? And it looks like no matter how much talking he does, yes, that he is going down. Looks like Mark Meadows is going to jail. And this is in I hope if they, I don't know what happens if they indict these people. Do they just know they're indicted, or do they actually arrest them and put them in jail? Would somebody let me know? Because I'm really slow at this kind of stuff. But this is him being in jail. So that could be just where he ends up. Maybe because of a lot of money changing hands. But anyway, yeah, he's definitely going to end up in jail, no matter what he does. He's trying to figure out his way out of this. You can see that really in the cards, that he's trying to figure out which is the best way, what's the easiest way to approach this. Feels like he knows now that he lost his protection he was so sure he had for some weird reason. I guess because they'd gotten away with everything they wanted to all their life, all of them. None of them's ever got caught for anything that was in on all this shit. So they just figured, why would they do anything to us now? Now we're at the top. That's why they all felt so protected. And the next one, let me mark that out so I don't forget I read on it, because I will. I'll forget I read on it. Sweet people. So I hope that's going, but it probably is. I'm sure it is. So we're not going to read on. And then everybody's wanting to know what's going to happen to Ye. I'm not going to read on him because the whole thing is so stupid. I mean, this is stuff that should have been brought up right after Charlottesville. Why in the hell are they throwing it around now? That's how stupid the damn news media is. I'm so tired of the news media letting go of important stuff and out chasing how big Trump's new plane is or something like that. It just whatever. It's just ridiculous. So I don't want to bring up anything to do with him. Political breaking news before the end of the year. There's going to be a little bit breaking every day. But this is talking about big stuff, like indictments and stuff. So let's just ask straight out, was there going to be any indictments before the end of the year? I personally don't think so, but we'll see. I think it's going to hit like a ton of bricks, one after the other in January. but I don't see it before then. But since that's only 3 weeks away, let's ask about January instead. Are indictments going to hit in January like crazy? Instead of asking a question that I feel like I already know the answer to, let's ask one that I know I don't know the answer to. So January. What's going to happen in January? Are these indictments just going to hit us like crazy? January. Indictments in January. And I'm talking about some of these people in the House and some of these people maybe in the Senate. Indictments. January. What's happening? Indictments. Trump maybe? We'll do Trump by himself, but let's just do the people in the Senate and the House. The Senate and the House indictments for January. The Senate and the House indictments for January. The Senate and the House indictments for January. Senate and the House indictments for January. Ooh, I'd say big chance of it, big chance of it. Look at this. This is the Wheel of Fortune. That cog going into place and everything changing. Oh my God, look at this. This is the card I was wanting to show up. I don't think we need to go any further. Right here's the answer. Not yes, but hell yes, and a whole bunch of them. And this, I asked about that for the House and the Senate. Look at that. That's great. So I would say not yes, but hell yes. They're coming in January. Let's put these back in the middle and do for Trump. Is Trump going to be in on these indictments in January? I feel like when they come after them, they're going to come after all of them at once. They're not going to just take a few at a time. I think it's going to be like, talk about like a raid. They're just going to show up. Everything's going to come out all at once. Yeah, everybody's going to be taken in and be, most of them, I'm sure, are being bailed out. They're not going to have to stay in jail. It just depends. I don't know. But Trump, is Trump going to be included in this? Is Trump going to be included in this? Let's just do one on Trump for January, for the whole month. Failed president. Oh, it's hot in here. Thank you for coming in and helping. Thank you, Rennie. Trump, is he going to get indicted in January? Trump, is he going to get indicted in January? Trump, is he going to get indicted in January? I got the Musician. Everybody uses different cards. I haven't drawn any cards yet on this Jack Smith. Is that his last name? I can't remember his last name. Something very common. I feel like that's him. I think he's going to be my magician from now on. And look at this. Here he's coming forward fastly. Forward fastly. Magician after Trump. King of Pentacles. Yep, he's going to be right in the middle of it. Not just with 1 or 2 counts, but with 10 or more. going to have all kinds of counts against him. Well, these are going a lot faster than I thought it would. I thought I'd be up reading all night with the list I had here, but these are going fast. We don't need to draw anymore. So yes, Trump's going to be indicted in January. And I feel like I'm going out on a limb saying that, but that's what the cards are saying. Cards are saying he's going to be indicted in January. So we shall see. I had one on here. What does Herschel Walker think of? What does Lindsey Graham think of Herschel Walker? And I don't even want to bring that up. I know he doesn't give a fuck about Herschel Walker. He's just been told that he had to babysit him till the election. Well, somebody asked if something was going to happen to Clarence Thomas and his wife before the end of the year. And I will say no. Let's just see. The quickest way we could even get to answering this question, I think, is to say maybe the first 2 or 3 months of next year is something coming out about Herschel Walker and his wife. I mean, not Herschel Walker. Clarence Thomas and his wife. How could I forget? Clarence was my dad's name. So, January, February, and March, is there a bunch of stuff coming out? That's too long. January and February. Let's just ask. Instead of going into all that stuff, that's adding too much other energy, and the guides are saying that's too much to ask. Is Jenny Thomas going to get hooked up in this big roundup? Is Jenny Thomas going to get an invite? Is she going to get indicted? That would really be a big push. I can't imagine her getting indicted. Well, let's ask. It won't hurt to ask. Is Jenny Thomas going to get indicted in January? Is Jenny Thomas going to get indicted in January? I don't think they would possibly do that. I don't even think this Jack Smith has got the gonads to do that, because then the whole Supreme Court would be after their ass. They've got to back off away from that. So that I'm not even going to ask that question, because I know that has to be a no till this all gets at least all laid out, and unless they know a hell of a lot more than we realize they know. So let's not even ask that right now, because that would be like not a good move on this Jack's part. What's his name? Jack Smith. Is that his name? We got Mike Lindell here. Will he end up in jail? I think I've read on that a million times. But will he be one of these guys that gets rounded up in this big roundup? Will Mike Lindell be in that bunch of people we're all in January? Mike Lindell. How much trouble are you in? Gotta be in all kinds of trouble. And you gotta be almost going through your money the way you've been spending it, unless you've got all kinds of pillowcases full of money instead of pillows stashed all over the world. So Mike Lindell, are you going to be one of them to get indicted in January? Gosh. I don't know about this, people. Mike Lindell. Are you going to be in on this big roundup? Oh. The spy in the camp. As much as he likes to talk, maybe he'll be telling everything and not even realize he's telling everything, because he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't know how he made all that money. He just knows how to push junk on the internet, I guess. Um, his money is dwindling down. I was just asking about his money. I guess we're going to pull some more than 2 cards on him. It's him holding his money close because he's been doing all this telling on himself. This is a deep investigation on him. So they are investigating him. I can't imagine him taking the higher ground, but here he goes. He's not as stupid as he looks, trying to lie his way out of it. There is some news coming out about him being in trouble. Look at this. Here's the town crier. Here's the Biden administration, which would be the Attorney General, somebody behind those, Jack Smith, somebody there. And we got the Eight of Cups. He's going away somewhere. Maybe he'll be one of them that actually gets put in jail for spreading shit. I know they're having that big trial right now against Fox News. But I think he's already been in for his, if I'm not mistaken. He does make him an offer when he feels like he's totally cornered and he has no choice. It looks like maybe he's smarter than he looks. He's offering him something here. This man is so hooked up on being on TV or being on the media, even if it's his own stupid little channel that nobody watches, that's his biggest worry, is being out of the network. But there's some female judge or prosecutor coming after him, too. It's a female judge or prosecutor that ends up putting him away. And I really feel like he is going away. Look at this. Will this be January? Got the Strength card here. And I just said it was going to be a female. I think he's going when all the rest of them go. I think he's right in the middle of them. When they go around out and do indictments against everybody else, I think he gets picked up in the sweep. So it looks like he is. Not as for sure as the other ones, but pretty much. If he's not going then, he's right behind him. So that's what looks like going down there. So let's see what else we got to read on here. Supreme Court. Well, Senator Whitehouse in his investigation unearthed something that'll pay off for him. Wow, my shoulders hurt. I think that's my guard. So I'm asking too many different things. But let's go in here and ask this. Supreme Court, they're not going to get involved in this stuff in January, but let's say by June of next year is the Supreme Court. What goes on between now and June of next year with the Supreme Court? Let's see if it changes. What goes on between now and June of next year with the Supreme Court? What goes on between now and June of next year with the Supreme Court? What goes on between now and June of next year with the Supreme Court? A lot of secrets revealed. Looky here. A lot of secrets revealed between now and June of next year about the Supreme Court. Things they think they've got hidden deep. Looks like it's going to come to the surface. Let's see. Supreme Court between now and June of next year. Quiet as the tomb. They're going to start turning away some of these frivolous lawsuits that they're always, like the one they're going on now, they end up going against that. That's going to hurt a lot of things. Somebody doesn't want to serve gay people on her internet channel. Anyway, it's just a bunch of bullshit to get it up in front of the Supreme Court. All she has to do is say she's too busy. If it were, that was only it. They're going to go silent. You're not going to be hearing as much about them. They're going to be trying to be quiet as a mouse and hide and look at this. Between now and June of next year, I would say yes. There's going to be all kinds of changes. What kinds of changes? It's going to be a deal struck. Maybe that they don't clean the whole thing out. If the other ones, let them go ahead and investigate the ones that are coming down. Is this from White House? Who knows? That's what I was asking. The past influence on the present, that's going to come out. A lot of payoffs, a lot of money. YouTube, this is for entertainment only. I said a lot of money, and here's the money. Here's the payoffs. That's at the top of the reading. It's in the sky. Some of them are definitely going to be leaving. Wouldn't it be nice if 6 of them left? I don't think 6 of them will leave, but we got the 6 of Swords there. Definitely, they'll be lucky if they don't end up in jail. 6 of them going down the river. I think that's just them leaving. Look at this. In a hurry. It's all going to happen so fast that we're going to blink our eyes and say, what happened? Well, it's all being explained. And the energy around this is they're being investigated. There's a deep investigation right now about money that was put in there. It's going to be a definitely total change of life. For maybe 5 or 6 of them. That is weird. That's a lot of them. Maybe it was people that thought they were going to get on there. Maybe that's including maybe Clarence Thomas's wife. Maybe she's included in there. And this is justice coming through, real justice. We got the Hierophant on one side, the Huda on the King of Wands on the other side, and the bonding in the middle. So this is yes. They're going to start getting a little quieter and quit taking some of these tests. Then all of a sudden, bang, 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 because they're going to feel like they got hit with a ton of bricks because there's something about all the payoffs they've taken, which a lot of them are going to say, well, just let us resign and leave in a hurry. And a deal might be struck for that. Because here's the Hierophant and the person in charge of making those deals. And the law. And the wheel of fortune turning. So, yeah, that's by June of next year. That's hard to believe, but there could be a total change before June of next year. And then right before I leave, I guess I'll ask this stupid question. Well, I'm not saying it's stupid if somebody sent it to me, but Kevin McCarthy, will he end up being in charge of the House, or are they even going to let him in there? I'm just going to do 4 across to see if they're going to let him in. Seems like I've just been here for 5 minutes, but I know better than that. I know when I start looking at that thing, it's going to be way too long. But I did promise you I'd be back, and I came back, but not the next day. It's been a week, but I did come back. Didn't wait as long as before. So Kevin McCarthy, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Are you ever going to be leader of the House? Are you going to be the big leader of the House with a gavel you said you were going to hit Nancy Pelosi with? Said it was going to be hard for you not to hit her with. You fucking slime ball. First. Fun and entertainment only, YouTube. I don't even like Nancy Pelosi, but just being able to say that makes him a slime ball as far as I'm concerned. I don't dislike Nancy Pelosi. I just think she she should have been gone 15 years ago. Okay, Kevin McCarthy. Maybe for about 2 months. He might be in there about 2 months. That'd be the longest. I'm not going any further. 2 months would be the longest he's going to be in there. No matter, they might make him an offer to keep him out of jail, but his world is over as he needs it, as he knows it within 2 months. He's out of there. So, those cards sounded pretty good, actually. I don't read on politics in between readings. I just read on people. I'm always surprised how it comes out, and it looks like it came out pretty good. Better than I thought. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're all healthy, and I hope you're going to get through the winter all right. I turned my little fireplace on over there in the corner, and then I sat down right in front of it, so it probably hasn't been showing. I thought it might make it look warm and toasty in here, even though I had to turn the air conditioner on and it's cool outside. It's actually really cold outside, but that happens when I go to read. So I want to bless y'all and thank you all for watching. And if anybody wants a personal reading, it's Lynn Tarot Readings, readings with an S, @gmail.com, and put your phone number in there, and I'll get right back with you. And I love you all, and thank you so much. Namaste.